Welcome back to Lost Odyssey. So yeah, now that we're all back together...
Still cold here.
Yes, now that we're all back together again, time for another dream. Are you alright? Do you feel any pain?
No, because I'm cold.
Jova.
I'm fine. It's just a cold. I'll be okay with some rest. Stop worrying about me.
Bragmund.
I remember when somebody worried about me.
Maybe you should give those kids some advice before you flash back.
Okay.
Sorry, it's too intense.
Alright, so this one. It's called The Ranking of Lives.
Look at those PowerPoint editing transitions.
A terrible epidemic is ravaging the kingdom. The onset of the disease is sudden. Due to genetic or perhaps hormonal factors, it strikes only males. The victim experiences a high fever, a violent headache, and often a swift death.
Yeah, I've been watching Planet of the Apes a lot recently. This isn't like simian flu bad, is it?
Well, let's see. The disease does have two hopeful aspects. First of all, once an individual survives it, we do not need fear of catching it again. From then on, he has immunity. Secondly, an extremely effective medicine exists. If used preventively on the initial stages of the disease, the drug, a tablet made primarily from a plant that grows in the mountains, almost always results in a cure. This means people can relax, and that there is no need to worry. I mean, probably
not.
I mean, probably not. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a story here. So,
Like, I know what would be worse: being dead or not being able to talk.
Unfortunately not. For an ironic twist of fate, that's something that life tends to thrust upon people all too often. The high-altitude plant used to make the medicine so that it's so effective in prevention and early cure is extremely rare, verging on extinction. In other words, there is not enough medicine for all the kingdom's subjects, only for certain people.
Let me guess, the royals got the cure.
Of course.
Well,
The upper class.
as usual, yeah.
So this will spark a revolution, no doubt.
Do you see what I mean? Asks Doc, a quiet man on patrol in the capital's marketplace with his fellow military policeman, Kaim. Sending his sharp gaze down one alley after another, Kaim responds,
You're saying they rank people to the side who gets some medicine?
Exactly, says Doc. In deciding the rank order, they brand us as either subjects indispensable to the nation or other subjects.
Great.
Yikes.
More occasions for the government to label people as second-class citizens.
This sounds like eugenics wars, just with another step.
Yeah, sorry, kids, but you're not indispensable. So,
Well, actually, I think, if I remember correctly, kids count towards that. Capital military policemen will receive their medicine relatively early, which demonstrates their ranking as subjects indispensable to the nation. I guess it makes sense, Doc goes on. If all of us were to keel over, order in the capital would break down like nothing. We always have to be the picture of health as we patrol the city, right, Kaim? For the sake of the homeland, as they say.
I suppose so.
First, the royal family gets the medicine, then the royal guards. Third come the politicians, and then the financiers who run the country's economy. The police and firemen, doctors, and finally us, the capital military police. There's not enough to give it to just anybody.
On the one hand...
This is just again, the police gets privileges over citizens once again. Oh, it's getting better with each second.
Okay, on the one hand, I kind of get it. Unfortunately, medicine is limited. On the other hand, boy, does the system sound like it could easily be taken advantage of.
Jova, how can you say that?
I mean, I suppose we can trust all politicians.
Of course.
But Jova, I've watched all of Neil Breen's movies, and I've learned that politicians are corrupt. Doc all but spits in those final words, and he asks, "What do you think, Kaim? Ordinary subjects are people too. Is it okay to rank them like that?" In theory, Kaim should be able to reply without hesitation that of course it is not okay. But realistically speaking, he says,
There's no way around it.
He averts his gaze from Doc as he hears himself saying these words. "No way around it, huh?" he mutters with obvious distaste. "Maybe you're right. Maybe there is no way around it." He sounds as if he is trying to convince himself. In fact, it does seem to be the only means open to them.
You know, Pedro, you mentioned Neil Breen. Would he be an immortal in this universe?
Oh, absolutely.
Given all the superpowers he has, apparently.
I mean, in one movie is literally Jesus, so yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking
Basically.
of which, how's the Neil Breen Cinematic Universe coming along?
I have yet to see the new one because keep in mind, Joe, it's kind of hard for Europeans to get to order the DVDs because but whatever.
I mean,
the
they
folks,
have
The
to
folks-
release
the
a
folks
lot
here
on
in the market-
YouTube lately.
the folks here in the marketplace
Here,
know
Mark,
about the
that's me.
disease. Oh, sorry.
Disease, obviously.
Obviously, answers Doc. It appears
If
that-
Europeans get the better of them, they could riot at any time.
absolutely.
Can't just manage to keep the peace by patrolling streets like this.
I know what you mean.
If we were to succumb to the disease, their lives will be put to them all the more to a risk. Can't lose every sergeant in the kingdom. What we do is think about how best to keep the harm of the impact of the disease to absolute minimum.
I couldn't have said it by myself, Kaim. You get a perfect score. Good job.
I was just testing you. I'm totally not going to steal any medicine for any family members of mine who may be sick.
Of course.
Good job, everybody. His words of praise carry obvious barbs. Sensing their presence, Kaim falls silent, underlying Doc's sharp comments is not the pain of biting sarcasm, but the sorrow of helplessness. Two children, a boy and a younger girl, run past the men, laughing, dressed in rags as they have probably come from the slum behind the market to gather scraps of vegetables little better than garbage. Doc points to their receding forms and says, I have to ask you a question, Kaim.
Alright.
Are those kids subjects indispensable to the nation?
Oh man.
boy.
Tricky question.
I wonder, how would Kaim function as a politician?
I mean, we have seen it. We're seeing, immortals being politician.
Kaim has no answer for him, because he knows the right answer all too well. He can only lapse into silence. Responding to Kaim's silence with a bitter smile, Doc goes on. According to your logic, Kaim, if those kids fall sick and die, there's no way around it. Or at least Capitol Police like us have a greater right to the medicine than those kids do. Am I right, Kaim? Isn't that what you're saying? Kaim could hardly declare that he was wrong.
I was like, okay, Doc, I get it. I'm an arsehole.
Also, yeah, I know we've seen other immortals as politicians, but I wonder how Kaim himself specifically would be as one.
Responding again to Kaim's silence, Doc says, now don't misunderstand me. I'm not attacking you. It's just that everybody is indispensable to somebody. Even those kids. They may be just a nuisance to the state, poor beggars, but to their parents they are indispensable lives that must be protected at all cost. Am I wrong? What a
Kind of the fellow.
Kaim thinks.
Maybe too kind, to a degree that could prove fatal for a soldier.
I'm
That's
not
just-
attacking. I'm not attacking you. You said that it described that the story earlier described as a bit bitter.
Mm-hmm. From the direction of the castle comes the sound of the great bell, an emergency assembly signal to the soldiers patrolling the streets. The medicine seems to have arrived for them. Let's head back, Doc pipes up, apparently emerging from his gloom. Let's be good boys and take the miraculous medicine that's going to save our lives and protect the kingdom. The sorrow-filled thorns sprouting from his words pierce Kaim through the heart.
That's the thing, Job. As showcased in the other dreams, Kaim seems to be more of a spectator, someone who wanders the world, and witness what's happening.
It would be interesting if one of these dreams is him.
It is the following day when Doc tells Kaim of his plan to desert. I'm only telling you this to you, Kaim, he says when they are patrolling the marketplace again. I know the punishment for desertion is harsh. I'm not sure I can make it all the way, and if I'm caught, I know I'll be court-martialed and executed. He has resigned himself to that possibility, he says, which is why he wants to make sure that Kaim knows the purpose of his desertion. I'm not betraying the country or the army. I just have to deliver this. In his open palm lies the tablet that he was shoot the day before.
And called it.
Really, you're leaving the army to deliver a piece of technology to somebody?
No, the
I'm
medicine.
sure that's the medicine dwibs.
The medicine, he's going to give it to someone else, probably.
You didn't take it?
Kaim asks, shocked. No, I fooled them. He chuckles, turning series again and closing his open hand.
You're going to deliver this tablet?
Uh-huh. Doc holds out on his hand now, pointing towards the mountains south of the capital. At the foot of those mountains is the village where I was born. My wife and son are there. He's just 5 years old and he's been sickly since the day he was born. If he gets the disease, it's all over for him.
So you're going to give him the medicine?
Do you think it's wrong of me to do that?
Quick question. But yeah, no, it would be cool if one of these streams actually does see Kaim trying to take up some form of leadership, essentially, for a bit.
Transfixed by Doc's stare, Kaim is at a loss for words. Suddenly, the gentle Doc's eyes betray a murderous gleam. I may be a soldier dedicated to protecting the nation, but before that, I am the father of a son. And before that, I am a human being. I don't give a damn about the kingdom's ranking of lives according to whether or not they are indispensable. I want to save the life of one human being who is indispensable to me.
I will give this dream credit. While it would be easy to demonize the ranking system, they haven't done that outright. It really is ultimately a matter of perspective and what's important to whomever.
Doc's eyes take on added strength. They are bloodshot now, clear proof of his resolve. If I leave now, I can be back in the barracks by roll call tomorrow morning. I'll leave home as soon as I give him the medicine, so I'm asking you to do me this one favor. Don't cause any commotion until then.
No, of course not, but...
I'm not sure I can make it, but I'm sure my boy will die if I just stay here. He'll pull through if he has the medicine. If there's even the slightest possibility of that, I have no choice. I have to take a chance.
He is in fact a bit dead old boy.
Cruel irony, the boy's dead by the time he gets back to the village.
Yeah, it seems to be something consistent with these dreams, so wouldn't surprise. They'll kill you if they catch you.
I don't care. I can die with pride, knowing that I did it to save the life of the one person most important to me.
What if you get sick?
All I can do is leave it up to fate. Doc smiles. Human beings can't do anything about fate. But I do want to do everything I can as a human being. This is why Doc has revealed his plans to Kaim.
So yeah, I see one of two things happening. Either A, the son's dead by the time he gets there, or B, turns out the son never gets sick. Like, either way, I get the feeling it's going to turn out he stole that medicine for nothing.
Well, I mean, there is a third way it can end, Joker.
They both die.
The medicine kills the son.
The medicine is supposed to help.
One more thing, Kaim. If they kill me, or I get sick and die, I hope I can depend on you to visit my village sometime and tell my wife and son what happened. Make sure they know that they didn't desert because I got fed up with the army. I did it to save my son's life, which is something that is way more important to me than army rules, and even more important than my own life. You will be satisfied as long as that message gets through, he says with a smile. Kaim has no way to reply to this. Not that Kaim fully accepts everything Doc has said to him. He is convinced not so much by the man's reasoning as he is overwhelmed by something that transcends reasoning, by the power of life, by the strength and depth of Doc's desire to save a life, precisely because it is something that will eventually be cut off by death.
Okay, honestly, John, with this setting, I get the idea instead of a case where, Doc dies, but he managed to deliver the medicine to his son, and Kaim will visit him, way later in the future, managing to make sure that Doc's sacrifice was worth it for him.
Yeah. I can see that, too.
Basically, yeah. I'm going to make a run for it while we're patrolling the marketplace. I'm asking you to look the other way. Tell them I disappeared when you took your eyes off me for a split second. Kaim can do nothing but accept Doc's plea in silence. He sees that deep in the hearts of those who love finite life is a place that cannot be entered by those who have been burdened irrevocably with life everlasting.
So did Kaim turn down his medication too, since,
He doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it.
Oh, I get that, but he's technically, as far as they know, one of the guards. So wouldn't they
Well,
give
Joe,
him
hold on.
medication?
We'll get to that. The two men reach the far end of the marketplace. All right, then. Sorry to put you through this, Doc says. He turns toward the exit and is about to plunge into the crowd when it happens. A child comes bounding out of the alleyway. It is the same shabbily dressed girl from the slums who ran past the man yesterday, laughing. Today she is alone and crying her head off.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Basically, yeah.
Now I think I may have a better idea of how this is gonna go.
She looks around with wild eyes, and when she spots Kaim and Doc in uniform, she comes running to them shouting, "Help! Go ahead, Liz. What's the matter? Doc asks. She takes his hands and leads him into the alleyway as if to prevent the surrounding people from hearing what she is about to tell him.
It's my brother.
She blurts out.
He's sick. He's got a high fever and he's shaking all over. We gotta do something or he's gonna die.
So her brother got the disease.
He's infected with a T-virus.
Kaim and Doc look at each other. How about your parents? Sorry, that's you.
How about
Sorry.
your parents? Don't you have a father or mother to take care of him?
Kaim asks.
What parents?
The girl retorts tearfully.
They both died a long time ago. It's just me and my big brother. Oh, please, Uncle, please.
But I was just... Doc mutters, fidgeting, ready to run. He looks at Kaim with pleading eyes. Kaim kneels down and looks the girl straight in the eye.
When did his fever start?
He asks.
Just a few minutes ago.
She says.
We were eating to pick up vegetable scraps and he fell down.
Did he accidentally hurt himself with a scythe, perchance?
No.
No. Get that shit out of here.
Last Odyssey written by Stephanie Meyer. By
Please no.
indeed.
Please no. Only a little time has passed since the disease struck. He could still be saved by the medicine, but of course there is no medicine for slum children. Judging from the girl's wasted frame, her brother must also be eating poorly. The disease will almost surely ravage his malnourished body and snatch his life in a matter of hours. The girl will not come down with the disease, of course, but even if it cannot attack her directly, once she has lost the only other member of her family and has no one to take care of her, the tiny thing is bound to trace the same fatal path as her parents and brothers sooner or later.
It's funny because when you get down to it, vampires are immortal in the Stephanie Meyer universe, so God help me.
And that's the thing, their backstories were the most interesting part of them.
They were.
Please help my brother, please.
She clings to Kaim and Doc, huge tears streaming down her cheeks. Kaim gives her a slight, silent nod. He rises slowly and reaches for a small leather pouch dangling from his sword hilt. Before he can lay hold of it, he hears Doc saying to the little girl, "Don't worry." Doc is holding out his hand to her, smiling gently. In the palm of his hand is a tablet.
He did that without hesitation. Good man.
"Give this to your brother," Doc says. "There's still time to save him." The girl gives him a puzzled look and hesitates until he urges her. "Hurry, do it now!" She reaches for it suddenly and takes it in hand with great care. "Hurry home, now!" Doc says with a smile for her. The girl dashes off. Her shrill, tearful voice rings out as she disappears into the alleyway. Well, fuck. Now what do I do about my son?
I wonder if there may be somebody with some other medication to spare.
I'm glad it worked out like this, Kaim, Doc says with a shrug and a pained smile. So now I won't be branded as a deserter, and I won't have to give you anything to worry about. No, this is a good thing. He sounds as if he is trying to convince himself. He even nods deeply in agreement. Surely he cannot have done this without regrets, especially if his son at home should take sick and die. His voice is calm, however, as he says, "I couldn't help it. When I saw that little girl crying like that, I know my son would understand." He gives himself another deep nod.
You're
Again.
inhaling too much of the copium, man.
Well, again, give him credit. He did that without hesitation. No hemming or hawing. Like, given what he was prepared to do, that is quite a shock. But perhaps a showing of just how good a man he is.
Still, Doc.
Never mind, don't say a thing. Doc cuts him off and squints toward the alleyway the girl ran down. There's absolutely no rank order to lives. The only thing that matters is to save a life you see with your own two eyes,
I know what you mean.
says Kaim.
Just because I saved one slum kid's
I
life.
think that's me.
Sorry.
Just because I saved one slum kid's life, there's no guarantee he'll grow up to be a credit to the nation.
That's
Maybe-
because there's a comma there, but go on.
Yeah, maybe all I succeeded in was doing was prolonging the life of yet another drag on the state. Maybe after I get back to the barracks, I'll start thinking of other people I should have saved instead of him.
Maybe it was just a typo. As in punctuation typo.
Probably. On the other hand, Kaim, he says, interrupting himself and turning to look at Kaim as he considers yet another possibility. On the other hand, I look at it this way too. Maybe it is just a matter of innate human instinct to want to save the life before your eyes. Maybe we learn those other kinds of ranking later, for the nation, or for the people, or even for my son. I may have failed as a soldier or as a father, but I think I did the right thing as a human being. Doc stops himself there and starts walking without waiting for Kaim to reply. He might be trying to hide his embarrassment at his own tortured reasoning.
No, Doc, don't you see? The Purge movies told me that we are all supposed to be assholes. We're just waiting to kill each other at the minimal opportunity.
But no, kudos to the story. It doesn't seem like it's trying to say that one ride is in the complete right or wrong.
Seeing this, Kaim produces a laugh and calls out to Doc, as casually as if he were suggesting to go to the tavern for drinks.
Hey, Doc.
Uh-huh.
You forgot this.
Now Kaim finishes what he interrupted before, reaching for the leather pouch tied to his sword hilt.
My god, Kaim can actually laugh.
From it, he takes a small pill.
Mm-hmm.
What? You mean?
I didn't take it.
Incapable of losing his life to a disease, Kaim had no use for the medicine to begin with. Of course, he has no intention of telling Doc about that. Even if he were to try telling him that he has lived 1,000 years, it is not likely that Doc would take him seriously.
That would suck if you have the kind of immortality where you can still get the disease and suffer the effects, though.
You have a family, Doc. Lives you give anything to protect. That is a great thing.
Now Kaim holds out a hand with a tablet in the way Doc did earlier to the girl.
I envy you.
He says with a smile. Wait, Kaim, wait, I mean, you...
I don't have a family.
He says, increasing the depth of his smile. Responding to Kaim's smile with its mixture of loneliness and warmth, Doc silently accepts the tablet.
Well now, will you look at the beautiful blue sky?
Says Kaim.
I think I'll just stand here a while, looking up at it, not thinking about anything at all. It might be a good time for you to run home to your son.
This might be the happiest we've ever seen Kaim during one of these memories.
Always you can see that there's a huge tinge of melancholy in it.
Yep.
I wonder if this is probably after that time he thought he lost his daughter.
Kaim does as he says, looking up at the sky. Before long, he hears the sound of footsteps running across the stone pavement.
Make sure you come back alive, Doc.
Kaim mutters. Kaim strolls along, looking up at the blue sky until he disappears into the marketplace crowd. The
That
end.
was awesome.
Yeah, I kind of like also the fact that it's left ambiguous. Is as Doc succeeded it, as he branded a traitor at the end. I guess it doesn't really matter.
No, the basic point is that Doc's compassion gave him a reward. Like fate rewarded him for his compassion. Yeah.
One good turn literally begat another.
And then as he ran home to deliver the cure quickly to his son, he slipped and accidentally swallowed the pill.
I mean,
I thought you were going to say that rhinoceros ate him.
I mean, to be fair,
I'd do a bit different.
To be fair, Dweebs, again, the story is left ambiguous, so for all you know, it is an interpretation if you want.
Yeah, you can.
As tragic as it is.
Yeah, that's how I'm doing it. Yes, Pedro?
No. I was about to say what Teo just said.
I'll save it for another time because the part is almost over anyway. But back when I was in school, high school, one of the things that they were covering, making us do, is to offer us the start of a story and to tell us the homework would be how to finish it. What would be the ending that you give it to it, because it's left purposely unfinished. Maybe it just cuts off a piece of the actual ending of the story we didn't know, or it had was left intentionally ambiguous. But otherwise, us, the students, were supposed to actually give it an ending. It was actually my favorite exercise of literature because, allow for creative reasoning and stuff like that. And I'll tell you a particular example again a later time because there's not enough time for me to discuss about
All right.
it. Because
Let me just explain it. So, in order to move on from the story, you have to explore in the Nautilus here and go on to the ocean floor because this is the path. You can notice there on the mini map on the top right, that glowing thing is your destination marker.
Again, you can tell they wanted to be. See, guys, it's like in Final Fantasy VII. You have your submarine, and you have to, reach for another area by diving.
And this opens up the
And now
next
you don't
dungeon.
have to worry about Ruby Weapon.
And this opens up the next dungeon, the Great Ancient Ruins.
Also, Jovate's Emerald. Ruby is the one in the desert.
All right, so I decided to end the part like this because there was no time to do another dream, but we do have quite a good quantity of dreams to go through before we start the ancient ruins.
Oh, will this be our last stretch of dreams?
Not well, actually, yeah, kind of. Because
we are in Disc 4 after all.
Yeah, basically. All right, everybody. See you next time where Kaim has more flashbacks.
Yeah.
See ya.
See ya.